This story begins in Tenerife in 1991. Linda Kelly was there on holiday with the 3 people in this picture, her children Daniel and Tanya, and her mother Joy. Little did she know that she was about to meet her future husband, John Ford.
We were there for 2 weeks, and on the second week, John turns up, and I just thought he was a nice man. He was funny.
Initially, she had no thoughts of romance. John was much older than she was.
I didn't fancy him at all. He was just a funny man, and he made me laugh, and my children were really attracted to him. He was very, very good with children, and he loved children. My daughter was thought he was wonderful. So she thought he was more wonderful before I did.
After they returned to England, they kept in touch. John visited Linda and her family in Peterborough, and the following year, when Linda was planning a trip back to Tenerife, she contacted John to see if he might like to go along. And it was on this second trip that everything changed.
He was walking me back to the hotel after we'd had a few drinks with his friend and that. And we were just in the street, and I could take you back there now, in the street, and he just looked at me, and he just said to me, "Do you mind if I kiss you?" And I remember standing there thinking to myself, if I kiss him, everything's going to change. He's not going to be just a friend anymore. Do I want this? Don't I want this? And this was all going through my head at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and I just said, yes, that's fine. And then it did all change.
But change for the better.
Oh, it was lovely.
So the girl from Peterborough got together with the man from Deal. When their relationship started, Linda was 32 and John 49. Despite this, however, they never really thought about the age difference, and it wasn't really a concern to friends and family, who were worried about other things.
There were reactions from people, friends saying, well, why are you moving away from Peterborough? Why are you moving to Kent? You know, you don't know anyone else there. What happens if it goes wrong? And because John had been married several times before, they were obviously concerned for me, but I knew it was the right thing to do.
So despite any friends' misgivings, Linda and John got married at Dover Registry Office on the 24th of April, 1993. Linda describes John as an extremely active person. Before they got together, he'd been into a lot of different sports: cricket, squash, rowing. You name it, he did it, she said. As newlyweds, they threw themselves into dance. They started doing modern jive and then went on to run their own events.
So we wanted to dance. It started with a few friends, and then it sort of went on for 17, 18 years, and we ventured into ballroom and Latin because I'd started ballroom and Latin, going to classes, wanted somewhere to dance, and my friends did too, so we started doing that, and then we both started learning a little bit of Argentine tango, which I enjoyed, and then I went on to do amateur ballroom and Latin competition dancing, which was great fun for a time.
Linda is also proud of the work that they both put into the Sandown Castle Community Garden, a project that they initiated in 2014.
We were walking down along the beach and we go past the old ruins of Sandown Castle. So we looked across and John said to me, "Oh my goodness, doesn't that look a mess?" It was full of litter, dog mess, weeds. There was just nothing there, no reason for anyone to ever visit there. And I said to him, "It's such a shame." He said, "Yeah." He said, "Wouldn't it be nice if somebody did something about it and, you know, made it look nice?" I said, that's a good idea. And I got quite excited about it. I thought, oh, this sounds like a good project.
garden proved a great support to John and to Linda as his health deteriorated. They first noticed that things weren't quite right in 2017. In particular, Linda can remember an occasion at a dance event where John was confused about how to set up the loudspeakers, and another occasion when they were building a plant storage unit in their own garden.
Got his drill, I say, drill a hole, put the screw in there, and I was giving him the screwdriver, and it was the whole 4 days was taken trying to tell him how to do something, and he so wanted to do it.
Proper diagnosis took a very long time. Promised scans at the hospital didn't materialise. Then there was COVID. It wasn't until December 2021 that the doctor finally told them both that John had Alzheimer's and, furthermore, a meningioma benign brain cyst.
I just felt relief from actually being told that we knew then where we were going.
Linda and John threw themselves into their new situation with characteristic energy.
I used to say to John, come on, let's get your shoes and coat on, we're off. And with him being energetic and things, he wanted to go to his groups, he wanted to do this. But it doesn't happen with every person, because not everybody's a sociable person. And, I was lucky.
Linda accompanied John to as many groups as possible, and they even renewed their wedding vows.
He just looked at me one day and he said, can we get married? I said to him, we are married. I said, we've been married a long time now. And he said, but he said, I want to get married again. So I said to him, well, we can do that if you like.
Linda and John renewed their wedding vows at Ringwold Church on the 24th of April 2022, the anniversary of their wedding day back in 1993. As his condition worsened, Linda devised ways for John to continue to show his love for her. In particular, she gave him a little book in which he could write his thoughts about her.
He used to write these little love notes, different ones, and I've kept the little book which I have now, and I find it's really helpful. And I did little video clips of him at his activities, all the things to say to him, talk to me today, what are you going to tell me today, what have you been up to today? And all those things are helping me get through the grieving process, because I lost him in March this year. The whole journey has made me a better person, because it's given me understanding and more patience, and it shows how much love we had.